Hi, everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome to TFT
TFT,
Tarot for today
Divine Dabblings,
with
Oberon.
and me Banshee.
We're not on drugs, honest.
No,
We're
no,
spastic.
sadly, no. It's
Sadly.
just our silly, crazy selves. Well, Victoria, is it happy hour? Is a happy hour or two or however long you stay here? You make it happy. Everybody makes it happy.
So,
What can
once again,
you
a
say?
reminder we're doing a birthday reading for Cherry Blossom. We do the birthday readings first, and they should be scheduled in advance. So,
Right
we're doing
after
it
the cards for the collective?
right after the card for the collective, which will be from the Seasons of the Witch, Lamas Oracle.
My favorite feast day. All right. Okay. I don't know if Cherry is here today, but did she come in?
No.
But if she, even if she isn't, happy birthday to you, Cherry.
Oh, she's lurking.
We'll be getting to you shortly. Yeah, she's probably working.
Right, you don't have to be here for your birthday reading, but we do need to know in advance so we can schedule it. And then you just know it's here at the beginning of the show.
Okay, Mr. O, pick one of these pretty cards out. What you got? Iced tea.
My favorite.
Hey, I have iced tea and water. I water mine down. Nice. Nice and refreshing on a very hot day. Felt like 104 here today. Now I know for Texans that might be a more, a more often occurrence for you guys.
She told us she wouldn't be here, but we do the birthday reading per schedule, whether the person's here or not.
Yep.
And then they simply know that this is where it's at and they can watch it.
She was here on Sunday.
Right, we finalized the agreement.
Iced tea. The keywords are slow movements, refreshing, and relaxation. Lean into your soul's pull and listen to its whispers to nurture yourself. That's a good one, Victoria. I'm sure Mr. O will comment on that when he comes back. All right, iced tea. Won't you come in and have a glass of iced tea? That's what your soul is asking for right now. A break and a chance to refresh after a long period of hard work. The spiritual equivalent to heat stroke is burnout. Yes, you can keep going and keep pushing, but the results could be devastating. And what would have been a short break could end up being a very long and possibly destructive breakdown. It's a good point. Fortunately, there's no need for things to go that far. You have received this card as your warning to enjoy some much needed relaxation. Stress can be just as dangerous to your physical body as a lack of nutrition and exercise. Your emotional, spiritual, and physical bodies are not separate. They are all one being. They're all one being, you, and there will not be a replacement if you don't take care of you. You are operating in a way that is not sustainable for long periods of time. Allow this card to be your permission to examine how your soul is yearning to rest, slow down, or release some of the overwhelming experiences you've been having. Well, life certainly is nothing but overwhelming lately, let's face it. So many crazy things going on all the time. And it just seems like we never get a let up, we never get a break.
You don't even have to spill the tea.
Ha! Nice one. Nice one, Mr. O. And, I just think here that we all should dial it down a bit. Whether it is what's going on in the world that's, you're just obsessed with. And I have to admit, I have to pull myself away more from the news than I've been. We have to, find our happy place. And also, if you are working too hard, are you just trying to immerse yourself in work to forget about other aspects of your life. It's not healthy. We all need time to rest
And drink the tea.
and drink the tea
Or read the tea leaves.
or read the tea leaves. I
Hi,
like
Libra.
that too. Well, hi, whoa.
Oops.
Hi, Libra.
Sorry.
You startled me. Hi,
Everything
Libra.
startles you. Hello, boy.
All right, we're going to get on with Cherry B's reading. Mr. Are you going to use the deck?
I certainly am.
I figured you would.
Yeah, with our heat index, it was 104 according to the
It
weather
was
people.
95 today, and then the heat index was around 104. Yeah, very humid here today. Very, very
That's
humid.
Michigan. All right, so I'm going to use my uncommon tarot for Cherry Blossoms reading. And happy birthday, Cherry.
Oh, I never mind. Okay. Happy birthday, Cherry. Absolutely.
Wherever
I know you'll be seeing
you
us
see
later,
this.
so we just want to wish you that and hope this reading turns out well for you. It is good for your solar year ahead.
All right, card one. The gift.
The gift that you received last year that you can use to make the most out of this year.
And it's the Seven of Cups. Beautiful image of the Seven of Cups. So the gift from last year might have been the idea that you really did have more choices than you may have thought. It could be that some are definitely more appealing and some of them are secondary to maybe your overall disposition, but you had more choices. And perhaps the gift of last year was realizing that there might be a process of really trying to winnow it down or figure out what you should really do.
Well, I think the gift from last year was keeping an open mind, an open mind to your options, things that you could explore, things that you could do in your life, things that would, be great goals to maybe accomplish or achieve. And you carry that into this year. Perhaps this year will be the year of choosing, or maybe you just want to dwell on it more. Whatever the case may be, you are carrying that mindset into this year. So, what you're going to do with that is going to be up to you. Maybe one of those options or things that you've been thinking about doing is going to stand out among the rest.
All right, then. Card two.
Card two is the gift of the present moment.
And it is the reversed Two of Cups.
Oh, well,
It could be that the gift of the present moment is realizing that not everybody is somebody who you can live in perfect trust and harmony with, and that maybe, you need to just be able to discern either people or choices as those that are truly harmonious within your sphere, or those that maybe you might even find there could be some trust issues.
okay. I think the gift of the present moment, is recognizing that, sometimes we're better off moving on from a relationship that just hasn't been working out. And whether that relationship is with you and another, a romantic interest, you and a family member, you and a friend, or you and a workplace, you and a business partnership, whatever the case may be, if things aren't working out and you really feel you've given everything a good shot, a good chance at it, maybe, you realize there is a gift in moving on.
Right.
Card three, the gift from your connection with others in the next year.
Death.
Wow. So I don't know if this relates to that,
And
but
it
sure.
is upright.
It means out with the old and in with the new in your connections with others, Cherry, right?
It's kind of interesting because it's coming after the Two of Cups, and I thought that maybe this is saying, like, being more circumspect in some of the relationships or friendships you have. This could definitely be saying that this is, what is the position again?
It's the gift of your connections with others.
So
That's why it's so
playing
different.
off of that, it may be seeming like really, you're looking at your connections, and the gift with them is that some of them are things that maybe can also really create change for you. So it's it's interesting maybe to consider that you know some of your connections could bring about great change, but not necessarily without you know certain cost involved.
Well, I think death is very positive here for you,
Sure.
Cherry. I think this is, coming after that card with the Two of Cups reversed. You're ready to let something go, and the Death card is affirming that. It's saying, yes, make room in your life for new connections, for better connections, for growing your social circle with people who really, you resonate better with and have your best interests at heart, and that you can really, also be available to them. I think this is very positive. I like this.
So card four.
Card four, the gift that will help you work on, achieve, or move forward on your dreams and goals in the
Now
year.
it's very interesting that you have a number of cups.
Oh,
You have the upright Knight of Cups.
oh boy, this is really great for this. Now, do you need me to repeat that? Do you know what that question is?
Go ahead.
The gift that will help Cherry work on, achieve, or move forward on her dreams and goals.
Well, it's kind of like you want to move towards something that really resonates strongly to you at a literal heart level, that something is so fulfilling to you emotionally. This is the gift that you want to, you know, focus on.
Well, I'm not going to rule out that your dreams and goals aren't romantically inclined
Of
either,
course.
because you are having a lot of cups cards here. So it's possible there could be a new romance in the offing this year that you might be working towards. But beyond that, I think we can look back to that Seven of Cups here, also, and say that maybe you're going to make a choice to work on something that you're really passionate about, that you really have always maybe wanted to do. And maybe now you're going to make the time and space and in your life and put your energy towards it.
Don't worry, we'll get the list there, Ari. All right. Card five.
I always do the list after a birthday reading and after the cards for the collective. So,
Card five.
card five is the gift from my spirit guides and or ancestors. What do they want me to know or keep in mind in the next year?
Fair is another planet. It's justice reversed.
But remember, it's what the ancestors speak. So, do you have an idea here?
Well, your ancestors may say, you know, that despite all this, you know, remember that the world is a reality and that sometimes there are some hard knocks. Don't expect everything to be totally peachy keen, that sometimes things don't work out. Sometimes things are not as fair as you want. Maybe sometimes you don't achieve the balance or move forward in the path you want exactly the way you want. It doesn't mean you won't get there.
Well, your ancestors are speaking here, and what they're saying is that life isn't often fair. Things happen. I don't know whether they're touching it, coming to talk to you about this because of whatever happened with the Two of Cups reversed there. Maybe this relationship or this friendship or whatever has gone asunder has left you feeling like you were treated really unfairly. They just want to remind you, that the scales may be sometimes turned against you, but you can right them again. You can create justice in your life. You can set boundaries for yourself. You can that karmically, the powers that be and your guides and allies know, when you're in the right.
This reading has a couple of major arcana and then a lot of cups, so it's very, very powered reading. And hey, Kara, we will get you on the list right after this reading.
Yep.
So finally, card six.
Card six is the gift that you ultimately received this year. What lessons have you learned, or what progress or growth have you achieved by year's end?
Nine of Cups.
What?
The Nine of Cups, the fabled wish card. The card that says, to some degree, even if it's not about a specific wish, that you find things really work for you well, and that things really have a strong emotional effect for you, calming you or resonating to you. It just sort of feels like a great deal of accomplishment or heartfelt joy about accomplishments is due.
Holy moly, Mr. O's deck has truly delivered this time. I have to say, Cherry, this is one of the most positive
Oh, one of
readings.
those decks that you didn't want, so you gave me?
That's right. It is true. The Uncommon Tarot, yes. And sorry, I can't remember. I think the tarot lady had some role in this, so I'm not dissing the tarot lady, but this art just didn't appeal to me for whatever reasons. But at any rate, I want to say that this is the wish card. Ultimately, you obtained something you truly wanted this year. You manifested through your own efforts, and you're going to be really happy and joyful about this. But now I want to remind you this is not a calendar year reading. This is for your birthday. So this is going to transpire from this birthday through your next one.
It's
So
it's very interesting that, in a way, the Nine of Cups was almost foretold by the other cards, the Seven of Cups, the Knight of Cups in a way.
the Knight of Cups, yeah. I mean, there's a few, there's a down here with that Two of Cups, but almost everything. Change and growth with death. And that's in your social circle. So I think things are going to be more vibrant for you socially this year. I think that you're going to pursue something or someone that you're really passionate about this year. I think, your ancestors are here to support you in times where you feel that you are being treated unfairly. And I don't know what else to say. It's just wonderful. So wish you luck with that.
Happy
I hope
birthday.
you have that great a year ahead, Sherry. Good luck with that.
Alrighty. And yes, Sonny has joined us again. He's in a wandering mood. He keeps jumping up and down.
Yeah, he'll be here and not, I'm sure, but he's here for now, so enjoy him while he is. He'll probably go back in the kitchen and eat some food out of the dishes.
So,
All
hey,
right.
Kara, how's it going?
Let's see, I'm going to eliminate. I still had Sherry's birthday reading in there. Shirley is up. Hi, Shirley.
Hi, Shirley.
There. And I'm going to post the list now.
What is these current feelings and next actions towards me? Will we be able to speak again and work through what happened?
You know what? I do apologize. I usually when post the list before the birthday reading because I want everybody to see that there is a birthday reading. But anyway, we are done with it and we're moving on. What was that again?
I'll read it again.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, I just had it.
Pull a deck out
Why
here.
is it gone? There it is. May I please ask, what is these current feelings and next actions towards me? Will we be able to speak again and work through what happened? D's next actions towards me.
That's the part I missed. The part in the beginning, your face was turned. Thank you. All right. Well, surprise, surprise, it's the Knight of Cups upright.
Oh, okay. You're just going to turn them off?
Um, yeah, next actions. Yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the Page of Wands reversed. I didn't think it was my reading. And it's the Ace of Wands.
It just felt like it
Nope.
could be.
Current actions towards me, I've rarely done those that way. Okay. Or next actions, yeah.
I'm thinking of the box. So there was the bear and the Sith.
The Bear and the Scythe. Okay, thank
Yes,
you.
I
For
like that.
that. Um, hmm. The Knight of Cups. It's really funny. We've had so many reversed cup cards lately, and now everything's righting themselves again. So hopefully that's going to be a nice trend here. Um, the Knight of Cups indicates that next actions um, might be positive. Might be, I don't know, are you hoping for a reconciliation here? Is that what's going on? It's
We'll be able to speak again and work through what happened.
I think there might be some movement, some positive forward movement here looking at that card. Or maybe they are thinking about it in a positive way. Whether they're going to follow through, it's hard to say, but usually knights are movement. So I'd like to think that maybe there's some positive energy for this
Well,
here.
you asked what his next movements are, and
Yeah.
that looks like that they are moving towards something they appreciate or something that they're, connected to emotionally, which most likely would be you.
But then we have it's the Ace of Wands reversed, right? But then we have the Ace of Wands
No,
reversed,
that's the page reverse. The ace is the next
the
one.
page
It's not
reversed.
reversed.
Well, I think here that maybe there's a sense or feeling that they want to move towards this, but that ace makes me wonder, or page makes me wonder if it's delayed for some reason. This is Mercury retrograde, and I'm almost wondering if this card is popping up here, Shirley, because they're not going to get in contact with you right away. Um, Messages did get delayed. Things happen, and so I have things get postponed, and so I'm wondering here if they're still in a state of mind of just thinking about this move forward. The knight seems to want movement, but the page is like, well, should I or shouldn't I? Right?
Yeah, the page sort of has a disinclination to movement. I'm almost wondering if it's possible that they're distracted either on purpose or otherwise with either another situation going on, maybe a project of some sort. That's the Ace of Wands. Like maybe they've decided to refocus their energy for some specific goal, perhaps, and so they're not as open at this moment.
Well, that last card, the Ace of Wands, was the one thing that maybe gave me hope, but I could look at this you know, two ways in a way. Number one, maybe they're debating whether they want to reconcile with you or go on a new path, and that would be the Ace of Wands. And number two, or that Ace of Wands could indicate to me here they really maybe want a fresh start with you. They're just not quite ready to make that move yet. And the only reason I'm kind of waffling on this one, Shirley, is because of the Lenormand, too. The Scythe is here and the bear, and it seems as though um, I don't know how I want to put this one together. I'm trying to think of it in terms of them and what they're thinking. And I think here that maybe what might be holding them back a little bit is their own personal pride, their own personal sense of power. Maybe they just can't bring themselves to come back right now because they're still trying to come to terms with how they feel about that. Does it disempower them? Does it make them look bad? Do they, something like that?
Right. The
That's sort of
tarot
looking at.
seems to present things a little bit better than the Lenormand might. Is it possible that maybe, what D is looking for is something that maybe checks you a little bit, limits you, like,
Oh, you're
the
saying
scythe is a
like dog
cutting
power.
action. That maybe, they're sort of looking for a way to come back, but with things feeling like they're more on their side. And I say that not knowing anything about what the argument or possible situation you're working through.
Yeah, I like that though. The Lenormand could go both ways with that too. Since this reading was about that person and their next moves, I kind of focused it there. But again, what you did too by saying that, I guess, because
Yeah.
it could be true that this person is thinking, well, maybe if I hold out a little longer, I'll make them want this more. I'll make them want this reconciliation more,
So it's a kind
or
of,
to be more
you got it.
agreeable with me.
They want to prove to themselves, if no one else, that, you need them more than, they might need you, or at least it's a game of some sort,
Yeah, it's
depending
something
on
a little
how
bit funny
serious you were.
here. I don't know if it's that ill-intentioned as it's just, let's just say, it's a bad choice they're
Results are
making.
results.
It's a bad way of dealing with a situation.
Hmm.
Um, but, maybe there is some hope here. I can't rule out that something, you
That Knight
might
of
hear
Cups
from
may
them
come
again
on.
at some point. However, I think it's going to be delayed, and I wouldn't count on it during this Mercury retrograde.
And that could be a good part of it too, is that maybe, from the Mercury retrograde part of it, they're still wobbling themselves on exactly how, why, when, and where, to try to reappear.
Yeah. So that's what we have for you. I hope that made some sense there. Shirley, good luck with that.
Good luck, Shirley. And Jamie's is up. Jamie's Cowboys. Hi, Jamie's.
Go. Thank you, I think. Could put them here. All right.
Do you have a question or do you want us to do a general for you?
Hey, we could even do an oracle pull. I got some
Yeah, that's right. We can also just pull a simple
interesting
oracle card.
oracles here. I've got the Curious Creatures deck or the Cosmic Creatures deck. And then I've got the Threadbound Oracle.
And we're going to do a general then.
Okay. All right.
So let me grab a deck here. I'm going to. Yeah, I sure hope you are, of course.
Yeah, I
I
was
was
gonna
thinking about that earlier.
I was gonna ask. I hope things are going well there. You've been through a lot.
All right, I'm going to use my Dame Fortune's Wheel Tarot.
Okay.
Fortune's Wheel. Designed by Paul Hewson, one of the first tarot readers that I really glommed onto. I believe he's out in the LA area nowadays. You're welcome, sweetie.
Oh, Sonny, you're so close to the edge here. Why?
Close to the edge. Alrighty, let's get it going. Oh, I like that. The star. And the star is about healing in its own way, so I think this is a good one for you.
Nice one.
The Hanged Man reverse. We'll get to that in a minute. And the Devil. The Devil's upright. We'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, it's an interesting reading.
Yes, I know, because they are all major arcana.
Well, okay, we got the clouds. And the psych. I like this, actually. Well, gosh, could have a slight. It may actually be speaking about your accident, but we'll,
Could
we'll
be.
talk about that.
Yes.
We'll talk about that. And maybe some of this does touch on that too. The star is here to let you know, though, healing will continue. I think the star is one of those cards that's like the sun, is positive for good health and recovery. Like if you've been in an accident or you've had surgery, it's always good to see the star come up in a reading. So, but beyond that too, there's a lot that's going forward for you now to be hopeful about, okay? That things are going to start looking up. And I feel here I think I might run through the three cards real quick, Mr. O. The Hierophant here is saying this is a time for you to start thinking about doing things differently. You know, I don't know, maybe the accident or maybe other things that have happened in your life recently, the problems you had with that friend and other stuff, maybe it's starting to make you realize I have to do some things differently now. I have to think differently now. And so I think that, this is good. This is healthy. We all need to kind of expand our consciousness and never close our minds off to, change and growth. And going to the last card here, I would say this, and maybe it's a good time to be thinking about stuff like that because your movement is restricted right now. You're having some issues that you are recovering from, and you still need some time. You need some time to get it together.
I like what she's saying here, and I do agree. When I saw the star, I immediately said this is a sign that you are healing, and that your future destiny is assured. When I saw the Hangman and I read what you wrote there about the that person not reaching out to you, I thought that could be about that in a sense too, that they're not able to come to terms themselves with how this reflection is on them. It's it's like they can't give up that part of their ego that says they hurt somebody and they should at least, be gentle person enough to reach out, as they said there. So it could be that. It could also be saying too, like what Banshee said, that this is a time for you to reconsider some of the lessons of your life, and what you can realistically do or what you may have to do. And then when I see the devil there, I think too, like what Banshee said, yes, there are limitations, but I think that putting it together, this is saying you may have an epiphany of some sort, realizing that there are some conditions right now that it is an opportune time for you to try to free yourself from either some bad patterns or some things that really are oppressing or weighing down your life. So maybe this is saying like, oh, I'm going to be home for a while, might as well clean out that basement, or things like that.
So, whether it's the accident or other things that's happened in your life recently, Jamie, I think that, getting the psych and the clouds here, I can see two things with this as well. And I think they're both worthy in a way. Something has, cut you in such a way that it's caused a bit of confusion and cloudiness in your life. It certainly could be the accident, it could be the other things you've been going through. But also, I kind of feel here that this is a positive sign in some ways that you could use this energy, this cutting energy, to cut through the confusion, to cut through any self doubts you have, to cut through any depression you have, and really start to see things as they are. I really kind of believe that here. The psych wants to cut through the fog, the mental fog that might be going on.
I think it's a perfect way of looking at realistically what the hangman or the devil or even the star are indicating, that you are
Oh, that was
really.
the Hanged Man?
Yeah, what did you think it was?
I thought it was the Hierophant.
Oh, did you want to talk about it then?
No, go
The
ahead.
hanged
I'll go
one
back to it.
reverse. And I did say that. But I do feel like, Banshee's kind of got the idea there that this does devolve or evolve from that, the idea that whether it's the accident or whether this is just that time for you to have a sense of reconsideration of your life, working on the parts that you can work on or coming to terms with them. And remember, there's a number of planets that are retrograde, including Saturn, which is sort of bringing about a sense of karma or lessons of time. And that means good things, that we can learn what we have to do.
So the Hangman doesn't change things a lot for me. What I think it means is that, you are you are coming, you are coming from a state of contemplation and deciding on maybe what you coming with a firmer idea of what you need to do in your life and where you need to go. And so I think here maybe where I said before that this is giving you time to think of new out of the box things, I think you've already maybe have started doing some of that. And I think that, you've come down to the point now where you are ready to make some changes. However, as I said, there may be some restrictions right now or an inability to follow through on some of that. So I think pretty much my message there is the same because, uh, one of the ways that I read the Hangman, there are several ways when he's reversed, is that he's finally come off the tree and he's ready to hopefully share some, not share wisdom, but apply the wisdom that he got while hanging on the tree. All right, that's kind of what we have for you, I think, here. Good luck with that. Ah, okay.
And I have our hours. We will be back on Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. You're welcome for the reading.
Well, it is good you have an attorney, that's for sure.
Yes.
All right. Jennifer is up.
Hi, Jennifer.
Uh,
And I'm looking for your question.
don't want to use this deck now. I'll use this one first. Is that the food one? Yes, it's the food one. The food one is going to be moving on soon, although I might bring it back out in August during harvest season. But we're going to be using it for cards for the collective next week. So, um, didn't I just do the Lenormand? Or you did?
It's my turn to read,
Okay,
right?
I guess. I don't remember. It must be. Go ahead.
What was the deck we used? Oh, you're right.
Aha! They are missing. Hand them over. I thought it was my turn. That's why I was looking for these cards. So, okay. But they weren't there.
And
Okay.
Jennifer, are you here? We're needing your question.
Hey, Jennifer. Oh, good, Kara. I will do one for you.
Well, I'll give Jennifer another moment and I'll briefly mention that my emotional exchanges is on tomorrow. It's that reading that tells you what your vibe is for the week and whether or not you might be lucky. So that's on at 7 a.m. tomorrow. It's a quick reading for every sign of the zodiac, the top card and the bottom card. Check it out.
Last call for Jennifer.
Don't forget to watch Happy Hour. It will be on Sunday this week, or Saturday, I'm sorry, at 10 a.m. as usual. Get a single card draw for either tarot or oracle deck designed to uplift your spirit and enlighten you.
What will
And
be
I
on
think,
Sunday is my show.
yes, well, that'll be the next commercial break because
Thanks.
you just announced,
Wow, thanks for relegating me. But that's okay. We'll go on to Ari, I guess. I'm not going to put Jennifer at the end of the list, but I will consider putting her back on if she comes back.
why, that's so
It's
nice.
a slow night, so.
Hmm.
All right. I'll be flexible.
Yeah, you're always very flexible.
I try. I try. All right,
Are you
Ari.
meant to have some fame or be rich? I'm okay with not having much fame or not being rich, but I want you to at least be middle class.
Okay. Hey, that's a good dream, actually.
Well, I have to say that, in my opinion, things like middle class, upper middle class, etc., are very arbitrary designations. Um, let's just say I want to be rich and be done with it. Because if you're rich, nothing else matters. If you're
All
not
right.
rich, it you still could be chiseling away. I've never met a doctor who had a great income who still wasn't in debt because he was buying a new house, he was buying a car, he was paying for his kids' college education, he was paying off his doctor's loans. We're all broke at different levels,
We're all broke at
except
different
for the
levels, but it's
rich.
nice
The
to,
rich, rich, rich.
you know, have money. I can't tell you how much, at least improved life has been since we paid off our condo.
Yeah,
And I mean, we struggled, we
we still have
struggled.
debt.
I had to retire early and not by choice. And so, You never know what can happen in life that can throw you off your game. Well, let's see what the food have for you today. The magic pantry. All right. Well, hey, you want to know about fame? You have the Queen of Wands here upright.
Well, that is a card of a shaker and a mover.
You have the Two of Cups upright.
Right. You don't ask about relationships and then you get a card about relationships.
Well,
Sorry, had to
there
laugh.
could be like a tie in here.
Of course.
Oh, well, but with great fame and fortune,
Comes a chef's kiss.
the Five of Swords.
Slice 'em, dice 'em with the five of swords.
This is very interesting, you know?
Alrighty, so let's throw the Lenormand out there. It's grubby worms in bird mouth.
It's birds.
It's birds. It's for the birds. And
What is
it's,
that? It's 20.
I don't know. I don't know the numbers.
It's a garden.
If you think, though.
It's the garden.
Well, that goes great with all the tomatoes and stuff.
Well, yes, it does, doesn't it? It all seems to fit.
It
And it's
does.
a real interesting reading, Ari. I could go a couple of ways with this. Now, it's all positive until we get to that nasty Five of Swords over there, and maybe a little bit here. So, fame may come to you, or you may marry somebody famous. I'm getting this
Well,
strongly.
remember her question said famous or rich, or famous or well-to-do,
Well,
upper middle class.
right. But I think the Queen of Wands is definitely a card of fame. And
True.
you know, oftentimes spouses just get famous by their marriage. So, you know, and then when I see the Two of Cups there, I'm thinking, oh, so maybe this is through marriage that you become famous.
But somebody
You
is,
marry because you are famous, you attract somebody that you really like, and you become famous. However, it's not going to, you know, fame is not always what it's cracked up to be. I mean, when you look at some of the scandals, you look at some of the things happening, you look at how people on social media can treat the famous sometimes, and you see even how, you know, the people who hire them, like in the case of, I don't know, Stephen Colbert, for example, how companies can turn on you. And then you know, people can turn on you. So that Five of Swords means there's a lot of challenges ahead that come with fame and fortune.
it almost feels like you would want to leave it behind in some respects, because it just seems to be too into, your privacy and that you don't feel like you're enjoying the relationship you want because you're on a public platter to be observed.
And the weird thing about this is the Lenormand to me too, because the Lenormand is the garden and the birds. Now, I often have said before, aside from it being social gatherings, I've spoke about the gardens in terms of social media. And I've talked about that. And now we have the birds here. And the birds, even though they can be positive about communication, so I could say this, that maybe you or your spouse could be a social media influencer of some sort. Or that you're so famous that you're attracting attention on social media. But what kind? Because the birds can mean gossip. The birds can mean slander. And I don't know why. I'm just thinking here, because of that Five of Swords, that it has to do with gossip.
So it's like you get what you're looking for, but there's a big downside. And the downside is that, you're never really quite as um,
Happy.
happy as you want, that you always feel that maybe there's a little bit of knives out on you.
And a little bit of a stress associated
And
with that.
depending on what kind of fame that is, it really goes with it.
Boy, and honestly, I mean, this reading started off so well.
It
And
did.
I just want to say that this marriage might be good, or who knows, maybe you could have problems in this marriage because of all the gossip and different things going on. Or maybe, for example, if your spouse is famous, or even you, and I don't think you would be like this, but let's face it, there's a lot of infidelity in the famous world. Whether you're a politician, whether you're a media star, whether you're a musician, all of that stuff. So I can't rule that out here either. So it's an interesting mix, and I have to say how all these cards just kind of fit together.
That's tarot for you.
That's what we have for you. Good luck with that. Stalkers are real. You're right.
I
Absolutely
wasn't
right.
famous and I was stalked twice at least.
Not by me.
No.
Victoria has stalkers too.
All right, Victoria.
I didn't have a stalker, but I did have a psycho in my background. I will say that. And what a psycho he was. But I guess I kind of knew and got away from that as best I could. And then it turned out years later, I found out he murdered people. So,
Then your boyfriend recorded his punk rock demo in the basement where Houdini was embalmed.
that wasn't my boy.
I'm your
Oh,
boyfriend.
oh, oh,
Then your boyfriend.
that's right. I was going to say, what are you talking about?
Victoria, what's your question?
It was one of those things, Victoria. I have a sense about people sometimes. It's my kind of danger radar. And it saved me on a few occasions, but that one's the real standout one.
Yes. Iggy and the Stooges once dedicated a song to those two. Give me danger, little stranger. No, he didn't do that. I know you posted it, but I can't find it. Let me look again for it.
Oh, I will help. Did I post the list though? I gotta post the list. Oh, I did post the list. Okay. I'll find it, Miss V. Don't worry. No pressure.
Is it about the iced tea?
I'm getting there. Do 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 do. Boy, we've had an active chat. Maybe I didn't get there.
An epic chat.
Oh, you asked if it was happy hour. I saw that. I like my iced tea. I like my men chilled and watered down. I like that one.
It's right there. The question is here. It's right there.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Am I crazy?
No, I think she is. The heat's got to you, dear.
No, for some reason it just didn't pop up here.
Well, better luck next time.
Well, I don't know why I can't see it. Even I can't see it, so I don't know. Okay, the question is here. This is my question. I don't know. Should we just throw general? Hang on. Okay. I'm sorry, Ms. V. We're either having technical difficulties. You don't want me to blame Mercury retrograde now.
Right, we won't blame Mercury retrograde.
Oh, I don't know what's wrong. What happened? What happened? Is it your deck?
Was last time yours?
I believe so.
Then what do you think?
It's not posting your question. Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm hearing the Twilight Zone theme playing in the background.
Where's Rod Serling when we need him?
6 feet under.
Oh my goodness, all the deaths of celebrities lately. Not that I really admired Hulk Hogan, but
Okay, a dirty soda company. Will it be a success? Hmm.
a dirty soda company.
Is it like sugar and Coca-Cola? What?
Do you mean with alcohol? Yep, I knew it. Yeah, I've heard that before, that phrase. So Mr. O is not much of a drinker,
Thank goodness.
so he won't be buying your product, but I might be interested once in a while. Wink, wink. Oh, that's wild. Huh. Shirley Temples. Yeah.
Shirley Temple was as clean as the driven snow.
I always used to just love a down and dirty rum and coke. That's all I liked. But I've really gotten into my old, and okay, so I liked a Tom Collins once in a while too. But as I got older, I started to like Mai Tais. I started to like pina coladas. I started to like mojitos. I started to like margaritas. And why did I cut these? I don't cut them, so I gotta shuffle again. It's your deck, right?
I'm working on it.
Okay.
All right, so our
No
first one,
booze in them. What?
especially chocolate covered. Hi, Dark Twin.
Oh, I used to love grasshoppers. They're twins.
All right, Victoria, your first card is the Three of Candles. That's the Three of Wands. And then the King of Claws. That would be the King of Swords, but it's reversed. And then finally, the reversed Eight of Claws. That's the Eight of Swords.
Eight of Swords reversed. King of Swords
Reversed.
reversed.
Three of Wands upright. I don't know about you, Victoria.
Well, the Three of Wands upright indicates to me that there's a lot of excitement around this, maybe between you and who you're working with. There's a
Yeah.
lot of excitement. There's a lot of anticipation of success. It's a question of, timing too, I think, with the Three of Wands. That I keep thinking of the light seers and that anticipation aspect of it.
Well, it does feel like this is an opportunity that, to some degree, you are being called to explore. Um, it's just a sense of, you need to understand more about it. You're welcome, Erie. Uh,
But that King of Swords reversed. I think you guys have to make sure you're on the same page together. I think that, really think things out. It seems to me there's I don't want to say it's a lack of focus, but there's some cloudiness or uncertainty surrounding your plans, and maybe things have to be firmed up more. I mean, obviously it sounds like you're getting it underway, but there's just something. The King of Swords, and also be wary about how you work together. I mean, you have to work together well. It seems to me like somebody may want to take more control. I don't know, I'm feeling that, but if you're really good with your partners, then maybe it's the other thing. It's about just making sure your head is clear, you're making sound judgments and decisions.
Hi, Jennifer, and hi, Estelle.
Jennifer, I'm going to have to put you at the bottom of the list. We'll put you back on, and Estelle. And Estelle, are you here for a reading? Because last time you kind of disappeared. So do let us know this time or leave your question.
So when I see the King of Swords reversed in the context of your question, this could be talking, either about, making sure you understand the decisions you're making. It looks to here like maybe there's somebody heavy-handed who wants to make sure things go in a certain way. I don't think that you is at a possible partner, or is it a possibility of advice you're receiving from somebody? But it makes it look like, there's, even though this first card looks like there's an exploration thing that would be exciting to find out more about doing this card says cautions against certain decisions, or working with certain maybe aggressive, kind of personalities. So then when I go to finally that reversed Eight of Swords, though, it sort of feels like there's a release here that basically, if you can figure out how you really want to market this, the marketing is going to be important because it's sort of like encaging you, and you need to step out of that and be free from, any other impression or illusion that is represented there.
Okay, okay, well, Jennifer, I will take you back off the list. I put you on before a cell. But next time if you can't stay, if you're going to get interrupted, leave your question. We'll be happy to do it for you if you're still here. And okay. So I did tackle that and I tackled
Yeah, I think
the
it's on
King of
there.
Swords. What is that one? Oh, the Eight of Swords reversed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think here, cast any self doubts aside and just go for this, Just go for this no matter what, Hopefully, it does sound like you said they're putting up the money, doing the work, getting the food license, you're the creative side. Okay. So you sound like you have a plan. Just be sure that everybody is on the same page. I just sense some difficulties with that King of Swords, but the eight to me just indicates this sounds like something you should do. This sounds like definitely something you should not have a worry about. You should just try it. Don't let self doubts or anything hold you back. And let's see here. Well, there's you or somebody. Ah, and it's the ship. Well, this could mean this is a move you're making. I mean, I think you're moving forward with this, or I don't want to say you might move away from this. I mean, depending on how things go with that King of Swords energy, which can be a little bit disruptive or a cause of confusion or some difficulties, somebody might want to move on. I can't rule that out, but I think it's more like you are allowing this move to happen. You're ready to move with it.
Thanks, Cecile.
And so I think this might be good for you. This might be good for you, however you slice it. Because, of course, you get creative experience from doing the work that you can always use going forward, looking for jobs, etc. So why not? Why not see where this takes you? Why not see where this boat takes you?
I have to agree. I think the indications are mostly on the positive side. And a lot of this is really just coming up with the marketing ideas or the imagery. And I sort of am getting that from that reversed Eight of Swords, that just sort of pour yourself into the idea of creating a new persona around this business kind of thing. But the other Lenormand cards say really you're sailing towards us in a way. So good luck.
I like it. It's
You
not
like
bad at all. So good luck with that. And Ari, you're very welcome. That was a real interesting reading, I
I
have
thought it
to
was
say.
interesting.
Well, maybe leave the fame to your spouse then. And, just, hey,
No, that's
you,
fine, Shirley.
you have a good financial life.
That's why we tell people to leave their questions, because we realize that, we take a little bit of time with people's questions. And so some people aren't going to just sit here and wait for us to do their question. They need to get on with their lives too.
Yeah,
Uh,
you've got a business to take care of. We understand. It's okay. We got your question in, or we did it for you, so no problem.
All right.
All right, we are on. Oops, now I thought Libra's up. Hi, Libra. I know you had an interesting question there.
I thought you said you were putting Jennifer in a salon.
Oh, I thought I did. Oh, it's an old list. I'm going to get it right now. Sorry, guys. You're all on the list. See, that was something I had in the queue already. Sorry. There we go. There it is. It's the updated list. And Jennifer's still on it, but I'm going to remove Jennifer. Jennifer, you said never mind.
I
So,
didn't see that.
NVM.
Oh, got it.
But thanks anyway, or something?
I didn't know that's what NVM stood for.
Take
Well,
care, Ms. V.
if you're here though, I mean, you know what? We can only call for you so long and then we have to move on to the next person unless you leave a question. If you leave a question, we would have done it and then you could navigate back to it.
All right, now the list is right.
All right, so
Gosh.
what was Libra's question?
Libra's question was simple, and it's interesting to me because I know we've had some contentious cards for you lately, Libra. Hold on, I saw it, so let me just get back to it. I know you'll be patient and stop doing that.
No, you don't know that.
Why is she starting things with my family?
Okay, yes, that was an interesting question.
Hi, Neelam. Yes, I can add you. Okay. Yeah, you had some rather contentious cards lately, I think. So, a few. So I'm wondering if it was relating to whatever you're asking about here. All right. The Queen of Pentacles upright. The Six of Pentacles reversed. And the King of Cups reversed.
The coffin and the key.
That was the King of Pentacles reversed, did I say?
Queen.
No, the Queen of Pentacles is upright. What's at the end?
The King of Cups
King of
reversed.
Cups reversed. Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Well, she thinks she's doing the right thing. Okay, but for whatever reasons, I feel here with the Queen of Pentacles upright, she feels she's doing the right thing here. I don't know if that doesn't mean she's right. It's just how she feels about it. She feels like she has either her own or maybe your family's best interests at heart here, or she's protecting someone, and just feels she's doing the right thing.
Well, she also thinks that she is a producer. She thinks she's the person who makes things happen. She thinks she's providing the energy to make things work, whether it's, maintaining or something with the household or the family. So she sort of has a sense of feeling like she's controlling there, managing things. Six of,
Six of Laurels again, so it's Pentacles.
mhm.
Um, she feels too that there's some imbalance here. Something is not right, and she thinks she can restore that balance. Now, if it's disruptive to your family, if she's causing problems like accusing your family of something, for example, then she feels the imbalances with whoever she's trying to protect here. So she just feels she's trying to restore some type of fairness or balance or
I
something.
have a very different idea about that
Do
card. That
you?
card
Let's
is
hear.
that she feels like she deserves more. She feels like she's
Oh.
not receiving what she should. Because at the heart of this is she sort of thinks she's Queen Mama of some sort. The Queen of Pentacles, she thinks she should be in charge, or she thinks she has the power here, and she feels like she's not being treated right, or she's not getting what she deserves out of it.
Well, the King of Cups definitely talks about some emotional discord here, that she's just wound up about something,
Yeah, I can
and
agree on that one.
she's acting out in a way. She's acting out. Whether she's right or wrong, that behavior is probably uncalled for here. And I think, what's that one again?
The key.
Yeah, the key is to put an end to this, you
Well,
know.
the key could also be too that she's missing something in her life that is causing this. Something is lost in her life, and this is causing this behavior, this acting out. Or that's another way of looking at that. I don't know if that's what she would agree with, but
Well, I would just say put an end to it. That's what the key
sure.
is. Or, on another level, it could be that maybe she's putting an end to it, or she wants something to end. If something is bothering her, that she's either attacking you or your family, causing problems, she wants to put something to an end. And I think you need to nip this in the bud, whatever it is. If
Sure.
she's meddling, she's interfering, it's not her place, or, she's got a beef of some sort, it's got to just stop. So put a stop to it. Good luck with that. Wow. Woo. Kara wanted Oracle top and bottom. And Kara, I'm going to try something new for you, and we're going to see how it works out. I have this thread bound oracle here. I just started working with it myself. I've been reading up on it a little bit. It really is kind of a storytelling deck. I mean, you can use it to create stories, but also it's divinatory. It's got divinatory meanings, both upright and reversed. And so we're going to give it a shot and see what it's got for you, Kara. It's by the Numinous Spirit.com, Numinous Spirit Press, and this person who created this deck and the Magic Pantry deck and the Numinous Tarot, they're really wonderful. I'm enjoying them a lot. All right. Well, our first card is the reversed Ace of Ink Pigment, and it's about alchemy, process, and experimentation. And okay, there are suits in this deck that only have 7 cards in each suit, besides some other types of cards. So let's see what the Ace of Shoot. Did I say ink?
Hmm.
I did. Yeah. Okay, the Shadow, which is the reversed of this, is inaction, inertness, and disaster. So let's see what this says. In the shadow, experiments fail. The ingredients we combine may fail to catalyze one another or produce any results. They may cancel one another out, rendering our inks muddy rather than vibrant. This may even end in disastrous explosions. We'll talk about this in a minute. Um, this is part of the process. Learning what doesn't work can be as useful as learning what does, even if it feels disappointing or leaves us cleaning up broken glass everywhere. Take notes, change up your methods once more, and try again. So, before I pull the second card, I just want to say that yes, it's true that alchemy, we mix ingredients together to see what comes of it. And oftentimes that's what happens when bakers are experimenting or cooks too. Put a little of this spice in, a little of that, try to find the right mix. Sometimes it blows up in your face, but other times it works. We really don't know until we try. So don't feel so bad if something you're doing or something you're experimenting on just didn't turn out the way you hoped it would. And let's take a look at the next one. And that one's reversed as well. It's the seer reversed. And the seer, when it's upright, is about intuition, divination, and foresight. Okay, healer, close. The seer. The shadow side is anxiety and obsession. It says delusion. In the shadow, the song becomes disharmonious and miscommunication occurs. Maybe you misheard the words. Maybe they didn't like the tune. Everyone has different communication styles. Wait a minute, am I on the song? I'm reading the wrong one. I'm sorry, the seer. Sorry, went too far. Okay. In a shadow aspect, we mistake the voice of anxiety or fear for intuition. We may feel driven to seek out answers from various forms of divination, not for actual insight, but to make ourselves feel better or feel in control. Predictions of the future can sometimes do more harm than good, making us fearful instead of providing useful warning or course correction. What has been foreseen is not always what will come to pass. No future is 100% certain, and we can almost always change the outcome by taking different actions. And that's such a good point here. We always say the tarot is a snapshot in time and not to act like it is a foregone conclusion. You can change your destiny. So, you experimented around. You did some things out of the box. Good for you. You should try new things, even if they do blow up in your face. Don't get anxious. Don't get upset about it. Don't be afraid to try again. And also, realize that, just because it blew up in your face once doesn't mean that the next time you try is going to have the same results.
Right. Understanding that, sometimes there is a need to be cautious, but also a lot of this seems to motivate by the sense that sometimes your curiosity gets the best of your sense of being patient. I'm just saying that in general, not just you, Kara. So I agree. I think that, sometimes you need to experiment and then experiment again.
So good luck with that. It's an interesting, well thought out deck, this one, and I'm going to be using it more as time goes on. You didn't do a Lenormand for that. We usually do. Hmm.
And it's the tower and the cross.
Yeah, see, don't make again, don't allow this to make you feel bad, especially if it's something you present to the public. If you get any negative responses or things don't turn out the way you wanted it to, don't allow this to make you pull back and hide from the world, you know. It shows grief and stuff here, and I almost think that card plays into the anxiousness or anxiety that was mentioned in the Sears card, you know. We really got to not take things too seriously when things go wrong. We make mistakes all the time, and some people sometimes come back and tell us that our cards didn't come out the way that we said they would. It happens, you know, we're not going to stop doing what we do just because, you know, sometimes we don't connect. And so you should do the same.
Well, another way of looking at that too is that the tower, may be a sense of isolation, but it's also a sense of strength too, of protection.
Yeah.
And so it can shield you from some of the things that you want it to, but it won't shield you from everything. Like, for example, the grief, and so some of that is maybe just learning how to deal with that while you are in that sense of a solid moment of sorts.
Yeah.
Good luck.
So good luck with that. Don't be afraid to try and fail publicly. I mean, it's just a part of life. Good luck with that. I tend to overthink things too much myself, so I feel these cards. Good luck with that.
You're welcome.
All right. We are on
Dark Twins.
We're on Dark Twins.
Well, I managed to close the deal on the house that I'm peeping already. I'm going to use my Dark Angels tarot for your question. And if it seems like it's a vague answer that we get, we'll do the yes or no.
Yeah, I hope this person produces more decks. I might be interested. They're very well constructed, well conceived. So, oh, and hi, Dark Twins. Let's see what we've got. I heard you, but I want to just look at it again. About a house.
Will he close the deal on this house?
Okay. Okay. We put these away. Oh, I forgot to put that back.
All right, it's the upright King of Swords. That's very nice.
That's very nice.
And it's the upright Magician. Holy cow, Dark Twins. I think that's fabulous. And then, of course, it's the reversed Four of Wands, which is not entirely negative, being reversed, this particular card. But we'll get to that. All right.
So this is a house you're buying. So let's see. I like it. I really do.
I'm not familiar with the term peeping, so I'm not sure if that means
He's looking at maybe?
looking at it. Okay, right. Of course. Oh. So that Ace of Swords upright and that Magician, those are really powerful in this.
Ace of Swords is the first card?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Honestly, it sounds like you could manifest this. You just have to like roll up your sleeves and do the work. You know, it seems like you have everything together that you could pull this off. And the Ace of Swords upright indicates a victory of some sort, that this would be good for you. It could also indicate that maybe, you know, you may come up with a creative idea or some creative approach to being able to make this happen. And combining that mental energy with the manifestation powers of the magician, that's gold.
I almost wonder too if closing the deal involves maybe some sort of question between the property and or different bids or something, because the King of Swords does sound like a decision being made or a decision moving in a certain direction.
Oh, the Ace of Swords is there.
No, the King of Swords is here. That is the Four of Wands.
Oh, I thought you said Ace of Swords once. Rats.
Well,
I'm misunderstanding. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'll go back and do that again. But I think once you make the decision, you know, to go for this, if you make the decision and you think everything out, can I afford this? Can I, you know, blah, blah, you will manifest it.
Right. It looks very much like a manifestation for sure, especially with the Magician there. I'm trying to figure the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands oftentimes does talk about physical foundations. like a house or family or a construct of some sort. Being reversed in this instance is not incredibly delegatory, or whatever that term is. It just sort of feels like maybe there's something quiet about it. Like it's a sense of, you win this, but it's nothing that you're going to, have to proclaim loudly everywhere. I'm not sure if I'm getting the right feel from that card.
Well, I think the Four of Wands being, about foundations is definitely could relate to a home and house environment. And, a happy home. It's like the married couple, finding a happy home. I think here what it means to me reversed is the fact that you got to make sure too again that you are making the right decision here, with this king. I think you have to make sure that dot every T and I, every I in, examining this property, making sure it's right for you, and making sure you financially can manage that. So I think sort of there's a tie-in here with that with the king.
And the Lenormand.
Hey,
What is that? The key?
nope,
Why
but
is he holding
that's
a key?
next.
Why is he holding a key?
It looks like an anchor to me with a ship on their background too there.
Okay, it's an anchor. The anchor.
There you go.
And the key. So the key is to hold steady, to anchor yourself to this idea. So, in other words, it's possible that maybe the Four of Wands or other things could represent that there's a little bit of a tussle here, that it might go back and forth. Maybe somebody might try to outbid you, or maybe other things will pop up. But mostly you just need to hold on to the idea that you want to manifest this, that you want to make sure you get this house. The anchor is sort of that holding power.
I like the anchor here because it kind of it also says that maybe you will find this could be a stable place for you to put down your anchor. It could say that.
Okay.
The key is that. Is this, and maybe that's a question you have to ask yourself. Is this a stable enough place? And I mean, financially, think of the whole picture for me to put down my anchor. But also, I see a connection between the anchor and the magician. I feel here that, the magician requires, focus. The magician requires you to focus on your will and everything on manifesting this if this is what you want. And the anchor reinforces that. It says, be anchored to this manifestation. If you really want it bad enough, you have to be all in on pursuing it.
Well, the magician has his, magical tools. That includes a blade. And it's kind of funny because to me, the key and the anchor and the sword are sort of all reflections of that idea of a wand or an instrument that diverts or that projects energy or will. So you have a lot of positive signs here, like this is really going to work out for
I
you.
think you do. I think you do. I'm sorry I made a mistake on that card. Just me. I don't know. I have a lot of buzzing in my ears tonight. I get a little
I'm
tinnitus.
getting some buzzing in my ears
Are
tonight.
you?
Yeah,
Oh,
with my hearing aids.
okay.
But you'll have to let us
I don't
know
have
how
hearing
it worked
aids, but
out.
I'm buzzing. um, yeah, you'll have to let us know how that works out. I wish you luck. I hope you know. Now, of course, maybe you might not find that this is to your liking if you look at the whole picture of it, but I think it looks pretty positive. I do. The cards are saying go for it. So
Good
good
luck.
luck with that. All right. We're on a cell.
Hi, Estelle.
Hi, a cell.
And Estelle left just a question.
What are some barriers to meet my future husband right now, and how can I work on them? Good question, Estelle. Let's see what we've got. Get a deck. Oh,
Yeah, we both have that a little bit.
I have it a lot. I've had it for 4 years now, and I don't know. It maybe is tied into my cancer, but I even had the ringing in my ears a little bit before pre-cancer, so I don't know. Pre-cancer diagnosis. I often wonder sometimes if you get symptoms before, you can get a diagnosis on something. So,
Well, ever since I started having the vertigo episodes at the beginning of the year, every once in a while, something a little bit odd happens with my hearing. Like I'll either get little tones in my head that aren't like the tinnitus that I thought I was experiencing. That'll just be like a tone that'll go, ah, and echoes like that. And then it's gone after a second or two.
you're welcome, Dark Twins.
Getting old is so much fun.
I do want to check. I really do need to go to an audiologist, though, and it's not so much for that. I mean, I've grown accustomed to it, even though, and some days it's really loud, like today, and other times it's really subdued. Um, I have one ear, and it's the ear that's facing Mr. O. That's my bad ear, and I have a good ear. And
My
so
bad ear is facing her.
and what's really funny is that I can still hear a bit better than him mostly with just one ear mostly. So I do have to get hearing aids, but I want to see if there's something else going on. So I'm going to go and get it checked out by an audiologist first to see if it's something that can't be corrected. But I think the sound is coming from both ears. It's not just in one
And
ear.
I saw my neurologist on Friday, and they kind of indicated that the whole thing may have started because of the bad fever, cold, flu thing that I had in February, but that when I have any kind of cold or anything that gets into my sinuses, this may cause a little bit of the vertigo to resurface. And it's been true this last week or so with a head cold I've been having.
Okay, so blocks you have to work through. The Three of Vials is reversed. That's one.
That's
That's the
the Three
Three
of
of
Cups.
Cups. Oh, there's a cup in this card, but there's two cups in this card, but it's not a cup. It is Temperance upright,
Hmm, I like that.
and it's Justice reversed. No, I'm sorry, Judgment reversed. In this deck, it's called the Awakening.
Check. And in Lenormand, the man, I don't know if that's the possible husband you're thinking about, and the coffin.
What?
All right, let's get going.
Well, that's going to be a tough one. But I got to figure that one out. But I think here, the blockages, the things you need to work on, Three of Cups reversed, is being around people who are truly supportive of you and finding those people. Or I look at this Three of Cups reversed and I think about, people who are looking for a relationship, looking for a husband. Well, where are you looking? Are you looking in the right places? Are you surrounded by the right people who can help you, find somebody or maybe introduce you to people? Do you need to find new people and new social circles in order to do this? So I think this card is a call for you to expand, your social network a bit and try to find new people.
Now I'm going to go slightly differently because the normal upright interpretation is that there's maybe some sort of celebration. Maybe it's a birthday party. Maybe it's a social party of some sort. But the barrier would seem to be that maybe these are just not the kind of places where you would meet that person. And maybe it's particular to those kind of situations. Are they too family? Are they too much to do with, a cultural situation where maybe this just wouldn't happen? But I think in general, that's what that card is saying, is that you may not necessarily find the way forward in those kind of, celebrations or family get-togethers or parties that you might have been
Well,
invited to.
you really enhanced what I said, so thank you.
All
Because
right.
actually, that fits right in with it. You have to find and meet the people that are right for you. So if you're not going to the right places, you're not going to meet this person. And
But I was specific saying that
he
I don't
was
think it's like,
specific.
celebrations,
Well, celebrations or just being around the
events.
same people,
Okay.
and I think you're right. You mentioned family, you've mentioned possible friends and stuff, and so I think here that kind of fits in. But let's move on to card two. Card two was
It's still the barriers. What are the barriers?
I understand that, but
It's
card,
temperance.
thank you. So basically, temperance is saying, you have to find a healthy, I think it fits in with the first card in a lot of ways. In other words, what Mr. O was talking about was maybe going to parties and celebrations and stuff like that isn't the right place, or a bar, like people do. And I don't think you're doing that, Estelle, but isn't necessarily the right place to meet people. So again, you have to find the right mix, the right place. You're going to find somebody who has a similar chemistry to you. So, where are you going to find that person? Where are you going to look? You're going to look at the places that really appeal to you. Do you like going to church or a temple? Do you like going to libraries? Do you like going to lectures or shopping? Whatever the case may be, your interests, your hobbies, the things that you do in life, maybe social organizations that you belong to. These are the places, maybe, healthy places that you will be able to find that right alchemy, that right mix.
Well, the question was basically what are the barriers that may be preventing you? And so I'm thinking that the idea of balance may work against you, that maybe you have to be a little more assertive or a little more aggressive in some respects, or you need to not necessarily be as moderate. You need to have a little more variation in some of your emotions. You need to like certain things more or hate certain things more. You need to not be, a middle of the road kind of personality. And I'm not trying to criticize you. I'm just saying what the card says there. But this may be saying that maybe having a little bit of emphasis in your personality or in how you want to do things might make you appear more interesting to certain people, or might give you that little bit of esteem to push yourself into those directions where that could happen.
Well, just because a card is upright, I don't have to read it as a negative barrier. I think what I'm thinking is how you break the barrier. It's what I've been doing with these cards. How you break the barrier is finding that healthy balance, finding that chemistry, and looking for the person that really fits that. And so I think temperance here is a positive here. You should use it as a force for good, finding the alchemy, finding the right mix, finding the right mix of socializing, social events that would bring you in touch with the kind of person you're looking for.
Final card.
Yeah, the final card,
It's the awakening, which you said was judgment.
yes, judgment, the awakening, and it's reversed. And so I think with judgment reversed, this is saying you've really got to in order to break the barriers, you really are going to have to do things differently. If you really have not been successful, are you doing the same things over and over again? Isn't it time to maybe think of a new approach, which I really believe some of these other cards have been talking about here?
Well, it almost sounds like what I was saying here. Like, don't be
Could be.
so. Okay,
It could
so I
be.
guess I'm done then.
Well, okay, if you have nothing to add there. Um, I don't even know where to go with the coffin and the man, except to say that,
Maybe what this is saying is that you need to not be as focused on the hunt so much, that maybe it's more likely someone will notice you rather than you trying to find how to get beyond the barrier that's keeping you from that. That maybe that's just the wrong way of looking at it. It's not about a barrier, it's just about accessibility towards you or you towards others.
don't allow what has happened to. I'm beginning to think here that this is about the past because you're asking about barriers, and I'm feeling here don't allow failed relationships of the past with a man affect your search for someone new. You have to let go of whatever baggage or burdens you might be carrying due to somebody who may have hurt you in the past. I'm just feeling that here with the coffin, that it's about putting something to bed that may have happened in the past with someone. Let it go and not allow you to explore new possibilities here.
Okay.
Good luck with that. Oh, right, and we're on Neelam. Right now, my thing is very high pitched right now. It sounds more like, I don't know if I want to say crickets, but maybe a little bit. But it's a constant high pitched thing going on right now.
Hi, Neelam. We just need your question.
Whoops. Neelam, you are up. Gosh, I know what I did again. There we go. All right. Thank you. All right, so it'll be your deck if Neelam is still here. Let's wait for the question. Otherwise, we will be ending the show a little early. Don't forget to watch my show, Material Matters, on Sunday. I don't remember if that second promo ever came up for that. But Material Matters, my show weekly on Sundays, my only show. And it's to tell you what's going on in your business and financial world, just as important as other parts of our life. So join me for that. I also try to cover education, or you can kind of extrapolate the cards from there. Business, education, and finance. Also, we're live in the chat on that show. 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join us for some fun on a Sunday morning. Well, Neelam has not shown. Last call for Neelam. Well, I'm going to put this deck away. And I guess we're going to say goodnight to everybody. All right. Well, it's been a great night of readings. So, some really interesting readings tonight, I
Some of
think.
them were pretty interesting.
So, thanks for some of the good questions we got. We love that. And wishing everybody well. Take care. Just a reminder that Mercury, of course, is still retrograde. And I think the day it's going direct is something like August 11th. I think that's what I heard. So, it's still ongoing and still wreaking havoc.
Did you just have a feedback in your ear just now?
Just a little.
Yeah, like just in the last few seconds.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So the answer is yes.
It was.
Mhm.
Okay.
All right.
So
That's why I
thanks
asked.
everybody. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you at happy hour on Saturday. Come get a positive message from us. Okay, bye bye for now.
Bye.